went on to discuss about the CRUD operations. How do we create an index in Elasticsearch? And once the index got created, we used to get the acknowledgement back from Elastic. So that's the one example we saw. Then we saw another example. How do we list all the documents within Elasticsearch? We use the cat indices command to get the information. Let me little zoom in over here. We use a command to get all the data from the given Elasticsearch, what are the different indexes are available, and get the data. Then we went on to create a document within Elasticsearch. Hey, if I want to create a simple key value pair, in this case, John Smith and the post is like I'm visiting New York, very similar to a social network feed, right? And the number of likes equal to 10. If I wanted to create a document, I can use a put command to create the document and I can insert into it. So once a document gets inserted, you will have the acknowledgement back from Elastic saying that, hey, this is the index name and the type, document ID, whether it got created or not, you get a acknowledgement back from the system. Once the document is being indexed, we're also able to search the document back from Elastic by just using the underscore search and be able to get the data back. So once you hit on the search, you're gonna get the response back. And we also saw an example. If I want to update a value within the key value pair, instead of updating the complete document, if I need to update a small value, how do I go and update the whole thing? And deletion part, we try to delete at the document level. Also, we try to delete the document, the whole index. So these are the few examples we saw yesterday. And then we also saw a little bit of scratching the surface on Kibana. In today's session, we will completely go into the various aspects into Kibana, the key aspect, the key important folder. But at the end of the session, we'll be able to comfortably able to create all the search some document in Kibana and also try to create a visualization. Once a visualization is being created, we should be able to create a dashboard out of it to solve the given problem. Now stepping into it, my Elasticsearch is running and also Kibana is running on 5601. So this is running on my local machine. So once it is all done, I'm gonna go to the home folder, and for this scenario, I'm gonna try something called try sample data, because we're just having like one or two few record, right? That is not very interesting per se. So I'm gonna try a sample data set over here. The sample data set, I have like three choices. Either use a sample weblog or flight data or a e-commerce thing. For simplicity, I'm gonna choose the weblog, which is very easy for us to everyday understand. I'm also gonna take the flight data. So I'm gonna use these two data points. Why not? We can all use all three. So first and foremost thing, we will go to DevTools to verify whether the data is actually been coming up in the cat indices command. So once I execute the cat indices command, which is listing all the indexes in Elastic, we're gonna see that all the data will be popping up here. You see Kibana sample data e-commerce. We have Kibana sample data flights. And if you refresh it once again, we will also find the weblog. Where's the weblog here? So here is the other log file has been populated here. Now, let's try the traditional way of returning the document. So in this case, I'm gonna return the Kibana flight record. So here I go and type get and slash it and underscore search. It is very similar to select all query. Once you accomplish it, we are seeing like a lot of values to it. It says that, hey, flight number, destination country, origin weather, origin city name, average price ticket, distance in mile, flight delayed or not, whether the destination weather and destination, flight delay type, from which country, the origin country code basically, day of the week, is it the Sunday or Monday, they represent a numerical value, and the distance in kilometer, timestamp, and the lat-long position. Both the destination as well as the origin lat-long location have been incorporated here. And what's the total flight timing, etc. So we have n number of values being incorporated in the given Kibana sample flight records. Given that, one small thing, if you notice, if you scroll all the way down, right, by default, you will only see top 20 results. Even if you try to keep reducing the value one by one, right, you will only see top 20 results. But by default, this document is having more than 10,000 record. So how do we get to more amount of record? If you notice the number of records over here, we see around like maximum of 419. I'm gonna add a limit clause. Here people tend to do a size operator, do a size, and I'm gonna hit on 100. Once I hit on 100, it's gonna return me top 100 results matching the given constraint. So if you understand the number of results, we had like 419 last time. Now, if you notice here, it is actually going behind 419. So we almost have like 4,119 record. So almost like 10x, which is the 10x of the number we saw like 100. So we're having like 4,119 is the total number of row items we see. So in this, we see like total of 100 record. Okay, it's all like more of dev friendly, but if you want to be user friendly, how do we accomplish it? The first and foremost tab we need to go here is something called discover. Discover tab is what will help you to reach the data in a human readable format. In the top left, you will see something called the small drop down like option. If you click onto it, you will see what are the different indexes are available within the system. You have the e-commerce, you have the flight record, you have the weblog, all the informations are slowly popping up over here. Now going back to the sample flight record, once I click onto it, automatically my value here will be updated here. It says last 15 minutes. So it says only 3 records. If you wanted to see all the record, you just have to make it increase the time frame. Always, whenever you see less amount of record in the discover, always look out for the condition what has been applied by default, whether it's last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 1 year. It is very important. And all the different fields, whatever we saw earlier, it is all showing up on the left. In this, if I wanted to look into only specific of the field, let's say if I wanted to see that, hey, what destination country it goes in, and what is the destination city name, and I wanted to understand origin city name and origin city country. So once I'm adding all these information over here, I'm able to see the destination country, destination city name, and origin country. All this information will be popping up over here. Like what are that information? At any point of time, you can add more amount of field here. If I go and say that, hey, I wanted to check what is the destination weather or the distance in miles, I'll be able to add the column as the third or fourth column at any point of time. And you will see that the selected fields is the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At any point of time, I can remove the field. At any point of time, I can swap the order in which the field is being executed. If I want to keep the order of miles to be the topmost one, either I can use this option here, which will try to drag and move all the columns here. Very similar to our spreadsheet, right? Where you have a drag and drop option, you can sort it. All these functionality will be available right away for you. In case if you like to make some conditions to it, first let's try to save it. If I wanted to save this view to my friend or my colleague or to my dashboard, I can hit on something called save button. I'm gonna say that sample flight view one. I'm gonna save it. So once it is all being saved, if I have the URL to be copied here, right? If I open from a new browser, if I just go here and type a new browser here, exactly whatever columns I've selected earlier would be popping up over here. But if I go to the discovered, all the information will be destroyed. Think about the save option is more of like a bookmark feature. So today, if you go to your Amazon.com and if you try to search for any product, right? Let's say if I'm gonna say that, hey, laptop, if I hit in, and if I'm gonna choose the Lenovo V15, right? If I provide you this link in your, and if you're able to open in your computer, right, you'll exactly see the same product details within your, right? You'll not see anything different here. This is the exact thing because you want to share something to your colleague, or you wanted to have some report being created. So it's very similar to a bookmarking feature. What it allows you to save the dashboard or a view here, which will allows you to later to introspect and take it forward. So this is the advantage here. If you just even go to the Discover once again, and if you wanted to open it up once, you will have an option here, something called like folder like option here, open session. Under the open session, you will see the all the different sessions or the views being saved earlier. Now we have Kibana Flight View 1. Even if you click here, now the whole structuring of rendering the distance in my destination, all this will be displayed properly here so that you can visualize everything as you speak and we can go from that point. So Discover tab allows you to select the columns. You can remove the columns. You can actually drag and drop or rearrange a column of your choice, third feature. And the fourth important feature, it also allows you to save and open up that session or the view at any later point of time. I'll stop here. Any questions?
No.
Awesome. This
Okay,
is the,
sorry. I think I have a
go ahead.
question. So for the fields, you said you need to manually add as many fields that you want, right?
Yes, it's up to you. Whether if you want to add a field, etc., that's your choice.
Okay.
But basically, whatever you are seeing, if you wanted to persist it for the later session or later activity, then
Mhm.
you can use a save feature.
Okay.
Okay, so we saw like top three important attributes within Discover. There is little more you can do within Discover. So, for example, if I wanted to see that, hey, I want a flight detail record where the origin city name is equal to Toronto. I can go under the top option here, click on like not even a new tab. I can actually apply the filter right away here. Sec, where is the filter option? Yeah, it's here. They change it. Origin, what's the column name? Destination city name. Destination city name. You have multiple operators here. You have equal to, exist, and or. Now in our case, we want to choose the equals to. And I wanted to choose Toronto. Once I here choose a Toronto and hit enter, so all the results in the current view will be only returned based on the city Toronto. So we almost have like how many documents are we able to see? We are able to see like a few, maybe 100 documents. Maybe I can increase to 500. So we are having like anyways like for 10 to 15 columns are being returned back from the system. Likewise, I can keep adding to it. So the origin city name is Toronto. If I want to also filter by origin city name, if I wanted to find, hey, how many flights flew from Seoul to Toronto, I can go here and add an and condition here. Once I apply and condition, it will allow me to choose origin city name, and I'm gonna choose Seoul. I'm entering it now. Now there is only one flight which started from the city Seoul and landed in Toronto. So if you want to keep adding multiple condition, that is also very quickly possible. It is more of like more of a DB visualizer or data visualizer. It just to help you do a spot check. Also allows you to see what is available and what not. You try to return all the data back from the system in a human friendly fashion. At any point of time, if you like to inspect the data, right, if you click on the inspect option here, inspect option basically gives you a statistic, how many records it's able to return back, data, etc. The interesting part, if you click on the request button here, it will provide you the exact query which is used to fire into Elasticsearch and return the data back from it. You see the query, bool, must, etc. You have all the information being pulled up from the backend and you have all the data. If you click on the response, you exactly see that there's one record matching the condition starting from Seoul to Toronto, you will be able to see that data. Hey, this is the information I'm having. I'm able to return the data. So at any point of time, you're not really construct a complex query. You can come inside the Kibana, use a data word, apply the query, and you can get the data. Even this way, you can also save it. Like even if you go to say that I want to save it under view 2, I can save it now. Now I'm going back to the discover. It's all the clean state. If I wanted to open it back, now I have like two views being created. View 2 will be there. Within view 2, the condition, whatever I applied, will be popping up over here. So if you wanted to save it at net new, or if you wanted to modify the condition, in this case, if I want to modify, remove the origin city name, and if I'm entering it, if I wanted to save it a net new, right? I'm gonna save as a new session. I'm gonna say 2.1. I'm saving it here. If I open the session here, I'll have 2.1. At any point of time, I can switch to 2.1. Also, I can open session 2. So it's completely under my control, which is a session or the bookmarking bookmarked view I like to open here. So we know how to select the column, remove the column, rearrange it, save it, and also apply condition to further get the information around out of it. Also, last but not the least, we know how to change to the different indexes available within Elastic. And if you also want to save this data here or export to a spreadsheet or somewhere else, right? Click on the export over here. You will have option to post the URL, or you can just something called generate CSV. Once you generate a CSV, a CSV will be available under the reporting section. If you click under it, it might take depending upon the size of the data, right? It's all completed now. It says that single document type. If I download it, my flight view will be available here. Now it says the discard. My data is now available within the my spreadsheet within my application. In your case, you can be able to open in Microsoft Excel. But this is the whole idea here. Like you will be able to go and extract the data, search some information, do all sort of slicing and dicing on top of it to get the data. With the recent version, they also introduce a new tab, very similar to browser tab, right? For example, if you are wanting to see that, hey, I wanted to understand the city location, I'll be can keep adding multiple tabs by putting a name to it, so that it becomes like more of like a browser-like experience within the whole Kibana UI. So that is all the whole experience how Kibana actually allows you to use the Discover. Any questions?
No.
Awesome. Once it's all looking great till this point, we're able to search some information, slice and dice. The most important reason why people love Elastic or Kibana is allowing it you to visualize something on top of it. If you go under Visualize Library, I'm saying leave without saving, I can create my own visualization. It asks you to whether, hey, do you want to choose lens, maps, or custom visualization. Many people, or if you're using a older version, you might be seeing something called aggregation based or time series analysis. For simplicity, I'm just gonna do the lens visualization here. Once a lens visualization is all being done, every time whenever we want to generate any sort of a chart, it's always we use the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis we need to go and pick up the origin city name. I'm gonna choose the origin city name here. So it clearly says that, hey, I'm able to visualize all the different things. I'm either use a bar chart or a overtime visualization or a heat map, how it all corresponds to, or a tree map, like how it looks like, or just the number of record or a simple pie chart. So all the different ways you will be able to visualize how this information can be structured. Either you can create a pie chart or a bar chart, it's totally up to you. Here as well, I can change it, or else if I want to modify here, I can click the bar chart. Once a bar chart is all done, I can choose whether I wanted to choose what type of stacking I need to do. In this case, I'm going to remove it once again to show you how it I wanted to try some different thing. I want to choose the what else is origin city name, weather, layer, origin city name, and a destination. I've selected origin, destination city name, destination City name I've selected, destination weather. Okay. Now, if you notice here, I've selected like two columns here, destination city name and destination weather. Once you have selected these two, now you tend to see like with the differentiation, the x-axis being the weather and the y-axis would be the city name, like what are the different things available. And if I visualize in the heat map, it'd be much easier. If you have your weathers on your y-axis, on your x-axis, you have the different cities. Now you'll be able to exactly visualize what is the weather looks like in all the different cities you have been traveling to. You'll be able to get a bird's eye view, whether it's very hotter or it's very cold. You will be able to get the bird's eye view. From that, you will be able to understand very clearly. Even here, you can actually have ability to go and save it. If I click on this option, I'm gonna save that weather statistics. I'm gonna say that I don't want to add to existing dashboard. I'm just gonna say that none. I'm gonna save it. Let us create another visualization here. Create visualization, choose lens. And now if I wanna select a different field, flight delay type. So we have like a multiple delays like carrier delay, weather delay, etc. If I wanna create a simple visualization out of it, or if you want to say that, hey, I don't like the color of it, I like to modify the color, you have the choice here. Let me remove the filter. There will be option to go and modify the colors. Click on layer settings, you'll be able to see what are the different properties it has and the colors, etc. You'll be able to modify. Or if you want to simply go to a pie chart, I don't like the pie chart here. Let's stick on to the simple bar chart. And if I want to save here, and I want to delay status, done. I'm able to save and add to the library. Now it's all been created. Now we have created two visualization. At the end of the day, we always like to have a dashboard, right? So for this, go under the dashboard section here, and I want to create a net new dashboard. And I'll say hey, add from the library here. I've added two things. I've added something called weather stats. I've added weather stats and the delay information. So I'm able to import the visualization what I've created earlier, and I'm able to see this information over here. I can start to visualize it. I'll be able to drag and drop. I'll be able to move the location if I want to shrink it or increase it. It's totally up to my control to decide what to do and what not to do. So even if I can save this dashboard and say that my very first dashboard here. My very first dashboard got created and you'll have this information being available. Now, if you wanted to go to the dashboard once again, the dashboard what you have created will be showing up here, my very first dashboard. If you open it up, the dashboard which we have created earlier, the two information will be two data points will be shown here. This is the simple dashboard what we have created, but in real time or in a real world scenario, right, a dashboard would be looking of this fashion. The same flight data status record. Think of like a air traffic controller or a airport manager, right? If you wanted to see all the data, hey, which is the most delayed cities, and where is the flight count is all about, where's the delay reason, and from where to where the travel is happening, and the flight delay type, like the way we did, right? They also did the same, and you have all the log information. So this is also another way we can understand like how we wanted to visualize the data as detailed as possible. Either you can create your own dashboard depending upon the constraint you have, and you're free to choose the dashboard of your convenience. Many a times, people get confused like, how do I get started with the dashboard or visualization? I always would advise them whenever you want to create any sort of a dashboard or a visualization, right? First and foremost thing, whether do you understand the data, what you're playing with? First and foremost information, whether it's a weblog, you need to understand like what is a log is all about, what is information it can convey, what is the data it can mine from it, you should be able to capture it. Second most important thing, what is the outcome you like to draw, whether you want to visualize something or looking for some KPIs or a metric. Once you have these two information available to handy, creating all the other visualization is a byproduct. If the requirement is very clear and if you know the exact outcome, hey, this is the outcome I'm looking for, then creating the visualization would be like super easy and fast compared to any other thing. So that's the only thing I would recommend. In this case, if it's a flight data record, we're able to see, right? We will also see for the e-commerce what it looks like, a revenue dashboard. It's gonna give you all the information that, hey, what's the revenue looks like and how many people are purchasing from which region, a lot of purchases are happening. You'll be see the complete correlation, how many transactions are happening, what's the overall revenue and the average spending or a median spending here, number of transactions per day, everything you'll be able to see from a single point here. That is the beauty of the whole end-to-end system. Any question, guys? Awesome.
Any question?
Okay. So we saw how do we, sorry, any questions? Okay. So we saw how do we do discover the data and creating a dashboard out of it. Then there is some machine learning library which is will be available only for the paid package, by the way. But if you want to try, etc., right, it's almost in a beta or a preview part. For example, if I want to select a data to visualize, right, let's select the existing data we have. I want to select the flight data record itself. And if I want to visualize, right, you're gonna see all the statistical information, whether the distribution looks like in this way, how many distinct value. It's more from a slightly from a statistical approach. How do I want to look into the data and want to take it forward? All right. Now coming back, like other option, you need to have the enterprise license in your office computer or the instance. You should be able to play with it if you have a platinum or the enterprise subscription to it, or else the whole feature will not be working up actually. Only for the enterprise customer, these features are given like more from a beta or a purview perspective. But generally, people don't do a machine learning on top of Elasticsearch heavily. People only use the third-party tools to do all the machine learning stuffs and whatnot because the functionality what Elasticsearch offers in terms of machine learning is very limited, or you'll not be able to do a lot of customizations on top of it. For these are the two reasons why the feature within Elastic for the machine learning is not will not be able to do a much of the impact for your daily activity. And now coming back to the dev tools, we know how we can query it. There is other tabs also we see here, something called Search Profiler, Grok Debugger, Painless, etc. We will see that in subsequent section. For example, if I wanted to select a given index, right? If I want to say that, hey, I wanted to search, I want to copy a query here, Control C, I'm going to paste it here. If I want to execute this query, so once you do it, it does the profiling on your query, like what is the document is actually searching, like more of an explain statement in SQL, right? Hey, how many documents I'm able to search, etc. It's able to search across all the different values and is able to give you a detailed breakdown where exactly it's actually spending a lot of time, etc. We'll be able to get this information. Based on that, we can actually make the next set of computation if you wanted to optimize a query, etc. So that is the advantage of it. Now, going slightly on the management part, there will be a two important other tab, something called stack management. Very most important tab. Under stack management, you'll have something called a section called data, alerts and insight, security, and Kibana here. The most important thing we might need is the index management here. Under index management, you will see all the different indexes being created within Elastic over here. In this here as well, I can create the index right away here. Or if I wanted to do some sort of a deletion operation, etc., right, I'll be able to do all sort of operation within the index management. And the other interesting part, which many people want to do, is the security or the user constraint.